They are at the start of their journey, they think outside the box, and they often come up with bright ideas. Their projects are innovative, they are a new generation of business people, and their distinguishing features are creativity and enthusiasm. This is the world of startups, the program about IT developers and the industry of startups.
Hello, we are back on Kazakh TV and are ready to tell you about the most interesting news in the IT world. This is the world of startups. I'm Serik Akishev. Watch on this edition. The open data are a new trend in the development of the electronic government of Kazakhstan. How will ordinary users benefit from it? Watch a review of e-governments in other CIS countries. What problems are these countries facing and how are they tackling them? The World Business Accelerators. What should one know to get through to enter one of the 5 top-notch IT schools? Recently, the UN has released its ranking of different countries by the level of e-governments. The ranking was based on how ready these countries are to use information technologies for legal state services. Watch a review in the market about this. Kazakhstan has been ranked by 10 positions higher in the UN ranking of the developing of e-governments, having occupied 28th place, leaving Lithuania, Belarus, Georgia and Azerbaijan behind. In the next 3 years, we are planning to offer all the services available today. This year, we are offering electronic support that is offered by legal institutions. We suggest turning to the mobile government. In this way, we will achieve a more advanced level of development.
Достигнуть, так будем говорить, еще более высокого уровня развития.
Today, the e-government services are popular with more than 2.5 million citizens of our country. As for other post-Soviet Union countries, these countries have occupied the following positions. Belarus is on 55th place and is willing to learn more from Kazakhstan's experience of setting up the centers for providing legal support to the general public. Belarus is followed by Georgia, being on 56th position, Armenia, which is 61st. In this list, Moldova, that is 66th, and Azerbaijan being 68th. I'm impressed by the systems which were implemented here all at the same time and then spread across the country. We're developing quite differently in this sphere. We had a decentralized process when individual departments, separate territories, were developing in parallel but using slightly different methods. And of course now we have some questions about how to integrate all this, how to synchronize the parts of the system and integrate it so that it works like one whole system. 193 countries in total have participated in the study. The index of the development of the electronic government is of such variables as human capital development, telecommunication infrastructures, and the quality of the online services. A new trend in the development of the electronic government is the open data. This theme was in focus at one of the sessions at the Global e-Government Forum 2014. We decided to clarify what the open data is and what benefits of it are there for ordinary Kazakhstani citizens. The benefits of using the open data services were proved not only by businesses but also by the state institutions around the world. Open data can be a base for analysis and long-term forecasts on any aspects of economy and social life. In a nutshell, open data is a method of data collection and information analysis made by a state institution.
Key to it is that it has to be available to everybody. It has to be available in some kind of usable form, ideally what we would call machine-readable data, meaning a computer can understand it, but at least available online in a way that you can pull the data together. You have to be able to reuse it.
Every day we have more and more mobile applications that use the open data from the state institutions. Through one of them, Fix My Street, users can send their messages about problems the communities where they live have, such as waste that is not being collected for a while, the absence of manhole covers or dying trees in a park. The information goes to municipal services that are responsible for tackling the problem, and it is sorted out. At the same time, Fix My Street is a platform that can be launched in any city. Geolocation services, that is, the services that use tracking technologies revealing an individual's location, are very popular among developers of mobile apps and services based on the open data. In many cities around the world where such database tracking operates, on the maps you can find additional information about fair trades, playgrounds for children, plots of land for sale and vacancies available. One more kind of mobile services is a useful application for pedestrians. The resource shows where the nearest bus stop is, how long you have to wait for a bus or train. The service also allows to buy a ticket for a trip. One more useful application for the open state data is medicine. A good example is mobile app MedAfrica, which allows the user of even a very simple mobile phone to get maximum information about available medical care or treatment in their country. A new trend on egov.kz make communication between the government and the population of the country more effective and easier. Every user of the mobile app can contribute to the development of the open data and the electronic government. In Kazakhstan, the mobile apps and programs based on the open data will appear at the end of this year. Currently, in the country, the first massives of the information that are required to form the mobile app based on the open data are being formed. If you want to enter the world market or at least get a consultation from internationally recognized professionals, then watch our next report where we talk about popular programs for startup acceleration around the world, and most importantly, you will get advice on how to prepare for enrollment in business schools. All the acceleration programs include two main aspects in working with startups. They are mentorship and investments. They differ only by the amount of input and the quality of education, and requirements for the projects and final investments in the ready product. Support from experts at an initial stage of any business is difficult to overestimate. Therefore, a lot of entrepreneurs turn to accelerators more often for professional advice from business gurus rather than for investments. One of the most reputable acceleration programs is Y Combinator, which was founded by Paul Graham and Jessica Livingston.
We got started with Y Combinator back in early 2005. Paul and I noticed that there were a lot of changes going on in the startup world. It was becoming a lot cheaper to start a startup, and we thought, gosh, if we could just somehow make it easier for people to start a startup, more people would do it.
Under the company's belt are such projects as Dropbox, Airbnb and Reddit. The founders of the accelerator invest up to $20,000 in projects in exchange for a certain share in the company. The preference is given to young entrepreneurs who develop new technologies. The second most popular program is Techstars, which emphasizes the importance of mentorship, not financial investments. The most famous Techstars consultants are managing directors of Foursquare, Tumblr and HubSpot.
Primarily, when we're looking at the applications, we're looking at the business model itself, and we are looking at the backgrounds, the things you can learn on paper about the entrepreneurs, right? So we look at their resumes, their LinkedIn, what they've accomplished in the past. And while we're digging in a little bit on the business model, we're really digging in on the entrepreneur.
For those who don't want to leave their home country to participate in international acceleration programs or lack good command of English, there are programs for supporting developing business offered by projects from Russia. A good example is company Ideal Machine from St. Petersburg. The founders of the business school say that it supports startups not only in creating a project that will be attractive for investments, but also assists in making a business fast developing and sustainable. In St. Petersburg we have Ideal Machine, an excellent accelerator that does interesting projects in IT, high-tech, nano and biotechnologies. Among European business accelerators, two of them stand out, SeedCamp and Startup Bootcamp. The companies support businesses from different regions of the world, but their main activity is supporting projects in Europe. Start Bootcamp was recognized as the best startup accelerator of 2014 at the European Tech Startup Awards. SeedCamp was announced as the largest accelerator in the UK. We hope you find this edition of the program useful. Follow us and leave your suggestions on vk.com and Facebook. I'm Serhiy Kakishev. See you next time on Kazakh TV.